go for the president, contest for the president of Nigeria in 2019, God willing. Now, I made that decision yesterday, May the 30th, when the Buhari administration hits 2 years. Now, this is the first video that I'm making, and I'm making it directly to the people of Borno. You see, you, the people of Borno, are very, very important in this story and the challenge to Nigeria. And I consider you like my brothers, like my family, and that's why this first video I'm making to you, victims of Boko Haram. Now, to go straight to the point, the whole Boko Haram thing is a very dire matter, and I believe it's of essence. And unfortunately, the people of Borno, now, you know me, I have been in this whole situation. I have been studying this. I've been releasing articles on this. I've been writing on this, intelligence reports of the situation in Borno. And the situation in Borno, unfortunately, has been highly politicized. And it has been a situation that the people of Borno have been taken advantage of. And I would say set up. And both parties have used you, the people of Borno. Okay, it's a situation that the APC has used to its advantage and the PDP has used to its advantage. Now, why am I making this video? It's very important that we highlight the positives and the negatives. Now, where are we today? Today, the Buhari administration has successfully suppressed Boko Haram. And administration completed, and it's very important you note these facts, the administration completed the work that the Jonathan administration started at the last minute. At the last minute, if you remember, the Jonathan administration did what? They brought in the Chadians and they liberated a lot of cities. Now, when the Buhari administration came in, mind you, take note of these events. Remember, the Buhari administration promised that by December that year, they would have dealt with Boko Haram. And if you people know what was on the ground, you would know the kind of battle that it takes to deal with Boko Haram. And that's why it's very important we mention the fact that when the Jonathan administration brought in the Chadians, do you remember the Chadians? The Chadian troops running up and down, decimating Boko Haram. The Jonathan administration within those last 6 months successfully degraded Boko Haram seriously, killed thousands of their troops with the mercenaries, with the equipment. I'm not praising the Jonathan administration, don't get me wrong for 1 second. Nobody has criticized and condemned the Jonathan administration as much as I have. That's myself, Dr. Brimah. However, before the election, the Jonathan administration kicked out Boko Haram from Adamawa, from Yobe, so the elections could hold in those areas, and now had severely degraded them in Borno. And then Buhari came in, and that is why Buhari, as a continuation, was able to say that he would be able to, and he, announced by the December that he had defeated Boko Haram. Within just being in office like 6 months, of which the first 2, it was the same army chiefs, Alex Bade and co, who were still in charge. Because some serious degrading had been done when Jonathan said, oh, my life depends on this to win the election. It's very important to note that there's a secrecy of this government, okay? Very serious secrecy of the Buhari government, where they made sure nobody knew any of the operations that were taking place in those areas. But there are several cities, and I've listed it before, several cities that were liberated by Jonathan before the Buhari administration came in that he's not going to acknowledge them for. Now, it's not as if we have anything to thank the Jonathan administration for. There is nothing at all to thank them for. However, it is important to note that defeating these terrorists is a job that any serious government can do. The only reason why the Jonathan government did not do it is because they were not serious and because they did not know which way this politics would play. But there are some very important factors that I want to tell you, the people of Borno, which are very critical in the next, because you people have been tools and pawns. And the things I want to tell you are very critical as regards your next election of not just governor of your state, but of the president of Nigeria. Do not go anywhere near APC or PDP. Both of them have contributed and are the reasons for the suffering that you have undergone and you continue to undergo. No, I'm not talking about the famine. I'm not talking about the way the government is looting, the way SGF Babachir, who Buhari shielded, looted millions of dollars, funds for rehabilitation of the Northeast. I'm not talking about the food that they keep looting, the food that does not get to you, the food that the government does not provide you, that is making people die of hunger faster than people were dying of Boko Haram under Buhari. I'm not talking about that. I'm drawing the history a little back further so you know how these people, both APC and PDP, they do not care about you. They only use you for politics. Now let's go back in the history. When Boko Haram crisis started, you probably remember what we did for you, what my NGO or the NGO that I'm a part of did for you. Okay. Now I'm not blowing my trumpet. However, I want to ask you a question. I'm going to leave you with this thought. When Boko Haram was decimating you, killing you left and right, what did Buhari say? Or what did Buhari do for you? Because there was a problem Jonathan was going through. Jonathan did not have, now I'm not praising Jonathan at all because he was the president and he has the powers. And by God's grace, when I become the president of Nigeria, I will use my powers and I will not blame anybody. Anybody who stands in the way, I will clear them off. Because you are the president of Nigeria and the presidency has ultimate powers. However, Jonathan was the president and had the powers to deal with whoever was obstructing him. But some people were standing in Jonathan's way, and it's very important. People of Borno, you know this. It's very important you know the role your governor played and the role certain northern elites played in stopping Jonathan from moving forward, even if he wanted to kill or destroy Boko Haram. And the whole idea is not about human rights abuses or violations. Buhari's bombed IDP camp in Rana and killed 250 people till today. He has not compensated the families. He did not even visit them to say sorry to the families of the people killed, but nobody is talking. So it's not, don't get it twisted. It is not about human rights violations. Is the reason why certain Northerners were saying, oh, don't bomb Borno. They were obstructing Jonathan from fighting Boko Haram. This is clear. And I'm going to remind you of some pertinent facts in this short video to you, my brothers, my family in Borno. When Boko Haram was decimating you, we helped, we worked with the civilian JTF. We provided you with logistics, we provided you with tools, walkie-talkies, tasers, and finances to fight because you were the only people who protected, who stood when Nigeria's army, due to saboteurs, and these saboteurs were working again. These saboteurs were working against the Jonathan government. Now, I'm not going to go into the deep conspiracy here that I'm uncovering. However, saboteurs were working against the Jonathan government within the army, including who is your greatest enemy? Is your greatest enemy not NSA Sambo Dasuki? Where is Sambo Dasuki today? It's been 2 years. SSS fails to bring him to court. They are just postponing the trial. They don't want to do anything to him. They are leaving him there. It is 2 years. They refuse to bring him to court. And they want a secret trial. What are the things Sambo Dasuki will say if he is allowed an open trial? Who are the politician sponsors of Boko Haram? Buhari claims he has decimated Boko Haram. It has been 2 years. Can you tell me a single politician sponsor of Boko Haram? We all know Boko Haram carried out political bombings, political targeted bombings against politicians. We all know that when Shetima comes to Borno, the bombs go off. Each time he comes to Maiduguri, bombs go off. We know all this history of political Boko Haram. Not is 2 years. Not one political sponsor of Boko Haram has been arrested. Sambo Dasuki is still there. These are very, very important things that you people, you need to watch. And this is why you need to keep yourselves clear if you want progress, because they just look at you as tools. Nobody cares of the Kanuri people. They don't care about the Kanuri people. They look at you as, they take you as pawns. And nobody, APC, PDP, they do not care about you. They are using you. The war on Boko Haram was used to win this election. or lose the election, both. And they now use the so-called defeat, whereas they are just putting Boko Haram in certain areas. They are using the so-called defeat of Boko Haram. Where are they? How many have been killed? There's so much to say. It's too much to say. When the Chadians were fighting Boko Haram, you know how many were slaughtered? We saw videos of the Chadians. They were displaying the videos all over Chad on their TV. We saw thousands massacred. Now we do not have any report. When last did you hear of a report of how many Boko Haram have been killed? Have you heard of more than 500 killed since Buhari came into power? Where are they? Anyway, we are not going to talk about. That's not even what I'm talking about. I'm just reminding you about the time that we started our work for you. This is the letter of appreciation from the work we did. This is a letter of appreciation sent from Borno Youth Vigilante, Civilian JTF. With due respect, now I'm going to quickly read. With due respect, gratitude, honor, and appreciation, I wish to write and forward this letter on behalf of the entire members of the above association to you. Sir, we are grateful. We are very grateful and happy to you, to what you have done to us. This shows that you are a very kind and understanding man that have shown concern to rent insecurity challenges that have been consuming the state and the nation like a wildfire, in particular the northeastern region of Nigeria. Sir, what you have done to us has made us very happy. Has not only made us happy, but has boosted our morale and has encouraged us to put more energy, strength, and power in fighting against terrorism, insecurity, and making the citizens to be law-abiding all times. Sir, with people like you around us, will not only encourage us stuff happening around us. We have written your name in a golden pen in our memory, and even in living memories of future generations. Now, I am not blowing my trumpet, but this is the letter that the civilian JTF wrote to me, Dr. Peregrino Brimah, for the work our organization was doing against Boko Haram. This was in April of 2014, because we were doing work supporting you when nobody else. Now, I want to leave you with this. What did President Buhari do for you? In any way, form, or manner, what did he say? What publicity? What did he donate? What did he give you to help you until he decided to contest for presidency? What? Because you know a person, not by the power, because when I'm president of Nigeria, I will use the powers for positive things. You have the tools. You are in office. You are not sleeping and a slacker like Jonathan. But before he came into power, how did President Buhari do? What did he do? He had influence. If he talks, people fall down, people die, people run, people jump. What did he do? When we were volunteering to fight the terrorists, what did President Buhari do for you, the people of Borno, till he was given this job where he is your servant to work for you? What did he do for you? What did he say for you? I have looked, and the one comment that I have that he said for you is this: in the nation, Buhari said, Buhari false clamp down on Boko Haram members. This is what he did for you. This is how he obstructed Jonathan. They said Buhari has faulted federal government's clampdown, and the nation is government paper today. Okay, so the nation is not some opposition paper. So Buhari has faulted the federal government's clampdown on Boko Haram Islamic as insurgents. He accused the government of killing and destroying their houses, while Niger Delta militants were given special treatment by the government. He said this on Sunday in Liberty Radio program in Kaduna. The former Nigerian leader said that unlike the special treatment given to Niger Delta militants by the federal government, the Boko Haram members were being killed and their houses demolished by government. He said, how did Boko Haram start? We know Mohammed Yusuf. He was invited, he was arrested by soldiers, handed over to police. The appropriate thing to do according to the law was for the police to carry out investigations and charge him to court for prosecution. But they killed him, his in-law was killed, and they went to demolish his houses. This is what Buhari felt for you people. That why did late Yaradua, dismember Boko Haram? After they had been killing people. Buhari continues that because of that, his supporters resorted to what they are doing today. You see, in the case of the Niger Delta militants, the late President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua sent an aeroplane to bring them. He sat down with them and discussed with them. They were cajoled and they were given money and granted amnesty. They were trained in some skills and were given employment, but the ones in the north, Boko Haram, is what Buhari is talking about. This is the way he was obstructing Jonathan at the time, and not just him. Remember, Bamanga Tukur said what? Boko Haram is fighting for justice. Boko Haram is another name for justice. This was the sentiment. This was the obstruction to Jonathan's action. Buhari then continued. They were trained in some skills and were given employment, but the ones in the north were being killed, their houses were being demolished. They are different issues. What brought this? It is injustice. So when we were fighting Boko Haram, when we were raising international alarm, protesting, carrying flyers, shouting around the place, saying Muslims should defend the churches so that Boko Haram can stop this action, when we were doing all this battle, they were busy saying Jonathan should leave them alone, that they should leave Boko Haram alone. Listen, God knows the truth. God knows what is. Buhari did not deny this article. He did not deny that he said this. God knows the truth. Steer clear from APC, PDP. I have declared my intention by God Almighty's grace. Yesterday, during a conversation, people were saying that who should, and they were saying I should. I said, no, I cannot. It's not my interest. Suddenly, I looked at some of the people who want to contest. I said, you know what? It's time for me to stop criticizing. It is time for me to take that mantle and do this work. And by God's grace, I will do this work. Follow me, my Twitter handle, at every Nigerian. Steer clear. APC, PDP, steer clear. Go anywhere else. God bless you.